Hi, welcome to Inside the Moms Club, where being a mom is the coolest place to be. Here in the Moms Club, we believe that what embarrasses you now will make a great story later. And let's face it, if you don't laugh sometimes, you're going to cry. Join us in having a good laugh together. I'm Monica Samuels. You are now inside the Moms Club, your private destination for all things mom. Welcome, moms. Welcome to Inside the Moms Club. I'm your host, Monica Samuels, and today I have a special co-host, Georgia Orchid. Welcome, Georgia.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you for joining us. So Georgia is the daughter of our co-host, Julie, and we sent Julie off on assignment so that Georgia could come in and sub for her because I have a lot of questions. So Georgia, what's the most embarrassing thing you can share about your mother?
Oh, well, where do I start? No, I'm kidding.
I'm joking. No, we're not going to do that. So you and your mom have a great relationship. You're very close,
yes,
right?
Ma'am.
Would you? Yeah.
I would say we're very close.
It would seem to be. I think so. She helped you move out here to Los Angeles, right?
She sure did. My mom has always been there I just graduated from college a year ago. My mom has been there for all stages of life and all stages of moving me in and out of different eras that I've lived through.
And so now you graduated college and you are ready to start your life. And so
Adulting.
You're out here. Adulting.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't have to call me ma'am. Yes,
I'm
Mom.
from the South.
That's true.
I just do that.
That's true. That's very polite. I appreciate that. Well, so she just moved you out here to L.A., and I know she's going to miss you terribly. Are you going to visit a lot? At least you're going to be a good daughter and
Visit often. I will, absolutely.
Welcome her often into your home.
Oh, yeah. I'm returning to Austin, Texas later this week because my sister is going to be in her senior play, and she's a soccer player. She'll have her senior moments in high school.
So that's good. So, yeah, because I have two sons, and sometimes it's tougher when you have sons. Like, they go off and, you know.
Do they call us?
Well, yes, but my oldest son, and this is not to criticize, but he has an apartment. I've never seen it. And it's in Austin where we live. So he's not yet invited us. Now, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's because it's not presentable. I don't know what the deal is, but so yeah. So would you ever work with your mom? I mean, do you think, how would that go?
I think it depends on the topic. I feel like we would work together well. She's watching this show right now, so I feel like I have to say that.
You do. I'm going to give you some advice.
I think we would work well together.
She is actually, she's actually watching what you're doing. Yeah. That's kind of a mom thing too. She's also, I don't want to make you conscious of this, but from what I understand, she's got the text numbers of everybody in the studio, and she's texting notes and things. Yeah. So
actually,
she's very much on top of it.
The producer in this room just told me to sit up straighter.
Yes.
But not because she thought I was slouching, but because I learned my mother, who's in Texas, texted her to tell me to sit up straighter.
Where did that come from? Yeah. So no. Well,
am I sitting straight enough?
Hey, I get that all the time too, and
I couldn't be taller if I tried.
You're sitting up straight. You're doing a great job. I think you're good. Could you ever do this with your mom? Maybe not that I'm.
Actually, I think not that I
want her in the host chair, but to co-host together. Yeah, maybe you guys could.
The embarrassing stories would be never ending.
Okay, well, you know what? We're going to do another episode later when she's not watching with all the embarrassing stuff. Well, you know what? Mothers and daughters are amazing, amazing, as we say, and we have a mother and daughter team here today who are the duo behind Elite Home Staging and Elite Maison Furniture. And they also have a podcast called The Power of We, which peels back the curtain on sobriety, sanity, and survival. Please welcome Samantha and Nicole Senia. Welcome to the Moms Club, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you
It's so nice to be here. It's like amazing to be here, and we're not there.
Yeah, well,
I like it. Interview us.
Because you're usually in this chair right here.
We're
right?
always there interviewing everyone, and it's so fun. I love seeing the dynamic. Good for you for coming on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's great. Now, how did you all start doing a podcast together?
Oh, we met this crazy lady. No, I'm just kidding. We met this amazing lady, and I think you know her. And she said, I want you to tell your story. And I was like, how am I going to do that? And she's like, have you ever heard of a podcast? I was like, nope. It was during pandemic, right?
I think, right after.
And, you know.
Yeah, I was still doing Zoom classes. And I skipped my Zoom class because for some reason I was like, I have to go to this meeting.
Oh, yeah. She was like, our life's about to change.
Yeah.
So we met with her, and we knew instantly. Like, we had such a connection, and I didn't even know what a podcast was. I didn't even know what she wanted me to do, but I knew I had to do it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your story that made her think, this should be a great podcast.
Where to start?
Yeah. Well, you start.
Yeah, I mean, we have, just like as a family, a crazy story. We're both sober. And
good for you.
Yeah, thank you. And
we're sober, and my son's sober. So we're a sober family.
Great.
Let's get that started. And that was not easy to get there, right?
Yeah.
It was actually...
we have some crazy stories, as you would say.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We had so much going on in our life. You know, I was a single mom when they were 5 and 6. And what happened to me was, you know, I wanted to keep them in their lifestyle, right? So I would go out to, you know, cocktails with my friends, with moms, and the kids would be playing, and I would start with a glass of wine. And that was like my way of, you know, dealing with the stress as a single mom. And that was really hard. You know, it was hard on the kids. It's going to make me cry. I'm not used to talking about this lately, but it was real.
Yeah.
It was real life. And being a mom is not easy. Being a single mom is definitely not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know a lot of people out there, you're scared sometimes. You don't know what to do with your life. So you pick up that glass of wine. Yesterday I was at a lunch and I saw these moms with kids, and it was like 11 o'clock and they were drinking wine. And let me tell you, that was me. But you know what? That didn't get me anywhere. What it got me is a lot of headache.
Yeah. And since we've been on this like sober journey together with her and my younger brother as well, we've just been able to like reconnect in such a special way where we can really be there for each other. We have such an open and honest relationship, and we can do so many fun things together, and it's just like such a great way to live. And I think it's just changed everything. And that's why we wanted to start the podcast, to show people that even if you come from like a dysfunctional family or whatever, you can... I'm emotional. I don't even cry. You can actually...
We do cry a lot on this show, too. Don't worry about that. We laugh, too, though.
Yeah. You can have an amazing time with your family.
Yeah.
Things can change.
I mean, it changed 100% after that. And then, you know, then we just started... I always wanted to empower women to get into staging. So there was nobody was doing staging, right? It was a big company and me in little companies. But women did not have careers in staging. And I was like, when I spoke on Steve Scholl's stage and people were asking me all kinds of questions, I said, you know what, that's it. I'm going to make sure that women know they can have a career in staging. And that was really one of my things I wanted to do. And then little by little, she started working at the bottom in my company. And now, you know, I'm going to fast forward. She's a big time boss empowering young entrepreneurs. So now there's so many young entrepreneurs.
That's cool.
It wasn't like that when I was like doing it. And it's
fun.
Thank God she can deal with them.
So,
I deal with my age.
Yeah, I hear you. I know exactly what you're saying. So did you have the staging business when you were first divorced and they were little? Or
So
where did that...
I got divorced in 2008, and I was like, we lived in Calabasas. I lived a very bougie life. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And a realtor said, you're going to start a staging company. And I was like, okay, great. So they were 5, 6, and 7, and I started the staging company in my garage with a partner. And literally, they would come home and they'd be like, where's my bed? Well, hold on a second. Let me get back to you. But yeah, so we started there, and then I slowly built it up. And the alcohol was during that time. And then, they went to high school. That's when it was hard for me, because high school is hard for moms.
Yes.
I don't know.
High school's hard for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that as another daughter.
So hard.
Yeah, as a daughter,
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
you can relate. Like, you don't really know what's going on. You're trying to figure everything out. And like for me, that's when I first saw drugs and alcohol, at least. And she was crazy, so that was fun. And I got to throw all the parties because I had the crazy mom. So I mean, we had a lot of fun times too.
So you were the mom that
I was the mom
the house that had the
would
party.
say, "Let's go to Cabo. You bring 3 friends.
Yeah.
You bring
okay.
Brandon. You bring 3 friends, and then we would go."
Yeah.
We had a lot of good times, but the alcohol does bring out like other things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just not the way I wanted to live my life.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have grown so much. I can't even tell you. Lori helped us start on the podcast, which has changed our life 100% forever. We are very grateful to her. And then we kind of brought this whole thing into our company. So when we hire, we make sure they understand we are here to empower you for your journey, right? So Nicole, trains them. We do meditations with them. We do positive affirmations with them. We do all that kind of stuff so they know they're amazing just the way they are, but we're going to help guide them to the next level in their life.
Well, one of the things you said, which I think is so true in our society, you were just going to mom's events and everybody's drinking.
100%.
So I can see, and I practiced law for years, and the little time that we ever got to go anywhere outside the office, it was always, let's go get margaritas,
Yeah.
and let's go do this. It was all
Right.
around alcohol, so it's very easy to fall into that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, did you feel like watching your mom as she was drinking more, did that make you feel like, as a high schooler, that, oh, well, it's cool to,
Yeah, I think,
with your
like,
friends
when
around, or did that have
you're-
any impact on you at all?
For sure. I think, like, as a child coming from, like, an alcoholic family or anything like that, when you see that's what's normal in your mind, you normalize it, right? Like, well, mom had a drink to feel better, so I should have a drink to feel better. And that kind of stuff is, like, it just gets played in your subconscious without, I think, you knowing it. And that's when, and then also, like, mom was having fun, so I was like, oh, I could have fun too. And, like, it just happens, and I'm sure you can relate, right?
Right. I'm hearing the timeline. I think
Yeah.
we might be the same age.
How old are you?
I'm 22. How old are
Okay,
you?
I wish. I'm 26.
That's sweet.
That would be nice.
This happens every time I'm
You
on
like
this
that?
show. I get the...
Yeah. Closer in age.
Okay.
Close in age, yeah.
Well, I was wondering what it's like working together with your
Yeah, that's
mom.
a great question. Honestly, we have a really good time. We have a great relationship now, and we mess with each other a lot. And we're also very different. We use different parts of our brain. I'm more logical, and she's very creative, and like we get each other. We know each other so well that when she's thinking about things, I just know what she's thinking about without her having to explain it. So I can explain it to other people. I don't know. We have this like crazy connection where it just works.
No, that happens with me with my
You work
mom.
together.
Sometimes she's trying to say something, and I'm like,
Right.
no, I understand what
Yeah.
you're trying to say. And it's almost like your daughter
Yeah.
can be your own like translator.
Literally.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Exactly.
another language. It's just your mom's brain into
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
everybody else can understand.
Yeah.
I can see how that can be very helpful
Yeah.
in a business capacity
Yeah.
for you guys.
So how'd you get in? Now you told us how you got into staging, but was that so? Let's face, my husband would be the first one to tell you I could never do a staging business. I mean, maybe
It's not easy,
Maybe an
trust
antique
me.
store like full of junk because he thinks my house is way
staging business is not for the weak. I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, do I work all the time? 100%. I work a lot. I'm very involved in my company. I have a very big company now. The reason I have a big company is because I stayed present in my company. And that is so important for any moms that are trying to start a business. It's important to also be with your kids, but to stay present even when you get bigger, because people still want to talk to you. They still want to know that you're involved in your business, right? And that's really why I think it keeps going up and up and up. And I'm not corporate. Right? I started in my garage. So, and I funded everything, little by little by little.
So what were you doing before that? Because for someone to stage your house for sale, you would want to see what their work looks like. So if you just started, were you working with somebody else and you were kind of
What was your first
apprenticing or something?
staging?
No. So, that's so funny. So I got divorced and this big realtor said, you need to start a staging company. And I didn't even know what that was. And he said, you just need to decorate homes, that need to be sold. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I can do that because I built 4 houses. I didn't even think to myself, I can't do that. I don't have past work. I just did it. I went out, I did presentations, I went and I got furniture and I just went. I didn't even put that thought in my head. What did I do before? I sold purses and jewelry when they were babies at a restaurant. I'd sell $10,000 a night and sell to all the moms. That's what I did.
So you were a good salesperson.
Before that, I was in selling cell phones when they first came out. So nothing to do with anything.
Wow.
So I've always been an entrepreneur, and I always have been very creative. I'm a very creative person. My eye is very creative. So I just, when I put something in my mind, I know I can do it, and then I do it.
Well, that's impressive because for someone to allow someone to come into your house to stage it, like I have a friend who just did that. And she said, oh, Monica, it was really something. They just took out. I just watched them being carted out of my house. I could barely talk as they were packing everything up and then sending it off to the storage unit.
Right.
So you have to have a lot of trust.
Yeah,
in the
but you got to
people who are
remember,
doing it.
back then, people didn't even know what staging was. I had to talk them into it. First of all, I had to explain to them, when you stage, you're going to get so much more money for your home that you would never, because you have all this personal stuff out. So I had to explain it all to them and then bring it in, and then it started happening one after the other. People would get more money for their homes.
So what's the stuff you want to take out then? Because
all the personal stuff,
just a
You
picture,
can talk on
family
this.
photos and
Right.
things.
Yeah,
or like,
personal belongings are an important thing to take out of your home because when, a potential family is walking through the house, they want to picture themselves living there. So we always highly recommend depersonalizing the house.
So if I won 6 Oscars, I should remove them because I wouldn't want them to see
and
them.
also
I'm
security,
joking.
privacy purposes too.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, we work with a lot of people who need to get rid of all their stuff, put them away because you just don't know.
And decluttering is a huge one.
Yeah, I could.
People don't realize when you're going to sell your house, you gotta when we walk in the door, you gotta think the house is gonna be sold in 3 minutes. So that's exactly you have to already get that mindset that I'm selling my house. I've got to clear out, clean out, declutter, and get the personal stuff out.
So really, I'm essentially moving.
Yes.
Already
exactly.
moving out of the house.
You're moving on to your next journey. How exciting.
Yeah, we just think about it like that. You're
Yeah.
moving, you get all your stuff ready to move and let us do our job so it sells quickly, and then you're ready to go.
I mean, we actually are helping people's dreams come true because their dream is to get out of that house, right? And that's how...
That's quite a job. I have hundreds of books. And my friend was telling me that the person that stayed in her house took every cover off of every one of her books.
No.
It would take for... I mean, if I ever had to put them all back on, that would take for... So, that's... So everybody has a different philosophy, I guess, as to what needs to go then.
Of course, yeah.
Well, so things have changed. So we were supposed to be here a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And the fires kept us from going.
The
And
fires.
now
Devastating.
I live in Austin, Texas, and I was at a get-together with neighbors the other night, and there's all these families from Palisades are moving to Austin, and we were all talking to each other. Do you want to sell your house? Do you want to sell your house? I mean, because everybody's leaving, because they don't have a house to go to.
Right.
But what's it like now? What's your business like? And I know you're helping people that have lost everything.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this isn't my first rodeo, let me tell you. So let me just go back. So I feel like every time there's some kind of catastrophe in Los Angeles, I'm like the first responder. And I do that on purpose because I give back to the community immensely. So when COVID hit, every single thing was shut down like crazy. But my business manager said, you're essential. I was like, perfect. What does that mean? He's like, go do what you do. And let me tell you, we helped so many families be able to, because they were really freaked out then. I would go, I would help them, I would tell them, get them ready for staging, and then they'd move to wherever state they wanted to. But so I've already kind of done that. So this time when the fires happened, I knew immediately. I put a package together, a rental package, and I advertised and let the people know we're here for you. You know, this Palisades, it's not people, it's like most of the people is not like you and I. They're, you know, they are been there for many years. It's 3 generations. It's huge homes. So most staging companies don't have that kind of furniture. So we put a package together, and I personally took that on myself. I went out and met with them. I brought my stager, and then we went out and helped them. And we've been extremely busy, busy. But, you know, it's nice to help and give back.
Oh, yeah. And then you've done that for homeless people? Did I read that? Or what is it?
Yeah.
I love that.
Explain. So tell me about
Yeah,
that.
it is interesting.
The Midnight Mission. So the Midnight
say it the right
Mission,
way, actually.
is a organization where people come off the streets that were either using drugs or, you know, battered women or, you know, just couldn't pay their bills and they were living in their cars. And I got together with the president of it, and he said, I'd love for you to come and stage some, you know, units. And so I was like, okay, sure. I had no idea what I was getting involved in at the time. And I went and I staged these units. I have the chills. And literally, I made them like cute and like, you know, really light and colorful. And listen, these people were on the street. So when they come in, they don't even know how to live anymore. But the little kids would come in and help me. And they were so excited. And I knew that second I needed to continue this.
That's
so
wonderful.
this year, every year we donate thousands and thousands of dollars. We probably donated over $500,000 of inventory, but this year we got to donate to a mom who has been on the streets, and she finally got into the program, and she's learning how to get a job again. She's learning how to. They have childcare.
She just got a job at Amazon, and she has 3 kids. And, you know, we were able to gift her with, when she transitions out of the transitional living, she's going to get a new apartment. We're going to furnish it for her.
Oh,
so that
that's
was
great.
really
That's
amazing.
incredible,
Yeah.
guys.
That is
And
really,
it's just
really
so nice to see these people and everything they're doing for themselves and bettering themselves.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to be able to help, it's amazing.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah.
And then all the people here that have lost everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I can't help everyone, and unfortunately, we get calls all the
Yeah.
time. You know,
We're doing everything
but
we can. But right now we're focused on furnishing rental homes for people who are doing temporary living to find a place to live, because most of these people did lose all of their belongings,
Everything.
clothes, I mean, everything. So, you know, we're doing what we can to help everyone.
yeah.
And yeah, it's a crazy time. I mean, I don't know had you been to the Palisades before?
I have been, yeah.
Yeah, it just looks so different. I mean,
I haven't, it's
Yeah.
very sad. And,
and
part of
Altadena,
Malibu, yeah.
So, you know, hopefully our community's strong and we'll figure it out.
Well, it's a beautiful place.
It
So
is
I
beautiful, yeah.
feel like, you know, it'll come back for
Yeah,
sure. But yeah, there's so
definitely.
many families that have been there for
Yeah.
generations. and-
Right.
Yeah, and
They've
it's
lost it.
important that
Yeah.
people know, like, that we are a mother-daughter team, and so when we're out there, they remember that, you know, because we are a family business, and we want to help them. And I think that, you know, I've always lived in LA. I've always lived in California, and it's so nice to see the community really coming together
Yeah.
through all of this. That's what I think the best thing out of everything that's happened in the last, you know, month.
Well, we reached out. We wanted moms across the country to help.
Yeah.
Here and in North Carolina, where they also are
Right.
living in tents
Which is
right now in
awful.
the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, and do what they can. But yeah, I really, you know, commend you. And
Thank
and
you.
you're a good
Thank
example. You know, what happened here has made a lot of people think about a lot of things. Like in Texas, I learned through that experience that we're the 3rd at-risk city for wildfires.
Oh, interesting.
So I talked to a girl whose family lost their house in Palisades, and she was talking about she said I had the flu, and my mother calls me, and I have to leave the house because of the fire, and I have to decide what to take. And she said in part she took the wrong things because she said, I took my birth certificate searching for it. You can get one really quick.
Right.
So it's also good to explain to people, be ready.
That's very true.
Like I know if it were me, I don't know what I would I would take.
Yeah.
So that was quite an experience. Well, we have some ladies who would like to talk to you and ask you some questions, and they are our Zoomer moms. So welcome,
Zoomer moms.
Welcome to the Moms Club. I'm going to introduce each one of you and tell us a little bit about yourself, and if you'll all have questions. And I guess I will start with, because she'll be really quick because she knows how it works here at the Moms Club, my usual co-host, Julie. Welcome to the Moms Club.
Well, hello, Monica.
Hello,
Hi,
Julie.
Georgia.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, ladies. Your story is amazing. I wanted to touch base on figuring out like how many people work for you. Is everybody involved in helping people with the fires? Are you continuing your business, obviously, as well? I mean, what does that look like?
You want to answer? Do you want me to? Yes, we're continuing our business. We run about 6 to 7 trucks a day. So we're doing staging, we're doing rentals, we're doing everything.
Yeah, we've kind of
we are so busy right now.
We've gotten an extra trucks that are dedicated to furnishing our rentals. So we have like 2 separate aspects of our company right now.
Yeah. And I know this won't surprise Monica, but I do have a part 2 real quick.
That's not a surprise. No. Go ahead. Go for it.
I just want to know, like, first of all, congratulations on being sober. I think that's
Thank you.
It's very difficult and amazing that you told your story. But how did it come to all 3 of you coming to that same journey?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think if, I don't know, people who know anything about like addiction or everyone, I don't know how to explain it, but like it's not because she's sober, I had to get sober. Everyone,
right?
It's like a mental. We talk about it as like a mental obsession over drugs or alcohol, and there's many other things. So once she got sober, I think it set a really good example for me, and I realized very quickly after many bad instances, I'll say, that I needed to get sober, and I knew where to go. And I think that was the biggest thing, is I knew who to ask for help, and I was able to ask her. And then my younger brother, actually, he was partying like crazy in college, and I had noticed it for myself, and I was able to have a conversation with him, and he knew where to come to get sober as well. So I think the biggest thing is knowing where to go to get help, because a lot of times, like, if you normalize it, you really don't know where to go. So.
And also, when you get sober, your life just gets better and better. I mean, they saw a huge difference in me, right? And, they're struggling. They're having fun, but they're struggling. But when you get to that point, you're drinking and then it's not fun anymore. They're like, God, does this get better? Yeah. And,
I appreciate you sharing it, because it gets brighter, it gets clearer. Yeah, so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hen, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and do you have a question?
Yeah, so my name is Hen Dainab. I'm a realtor actually in Marina Del Rey in Santa Monica. So
yay! Welcome.
This feels like a home. And I've also coached with Steve, so
nice.
That was just a small world.
Amazing.
Right? And I'm one of those agents who got the swarm of people coming in after, the fire. And one thing that we've been, and I have one son, as you said, like I'm also a mom, and he wants to do real estate. So I'm taking cues from, is it going to be a good idea? But it seems like it's going to be a good idea to work with your own child. So my question is, like, one of the things that I'm actually dealing with, I have a lot of leases and we're turning it to short-term rentals. Mm-hmm. And most of the stagers in the area, it's easier to stage to sell. But when you stage because the person is going to live there, it's been really challenging to find enough stagers are willing to do that. So in your business, did your business had to pivot from staging a property to be sold to staging a property as a maybe short term or a lease term for people that had lost everything in the fires?
Well, first of all, I have a big company, so we do rentals, and we've done it for many years. So this isn't like a new thing that I'm doing. And we have an amazing team in the back end. So basically the rentals work like this. It's one price for the move in, the inventory and the pickup, and then there's a security deposit, and then there's a monthly. And the great thing is I have an amazing team that checks everything, so everything comes clean and new. And we just do it with furniture. We don't do the accessories and the art and all of that. So that way they can, because these people want to make it their home. They don't want a staged home, right? They want to make it their own. So I tell them when I go out, you don't need that. You need to do that yourself so you can make it your own place. And yeah, I buy containers for all over the world, so I'm ready at any time for anything. So don't forget us.
That's impressive. To start from your garage to all these trucks and places to start.
Thank you, Monica.
Well, I'm very impressed. Allie, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and do you have a question?
Yes, so hi everyone. I actually lived in the Palisades for 10 years, and my kids were one of those families that actually lost their home. I'm in Calabasas now, and I am the founder of You Thrive Wellness, Inc. I help bring in mindfulness and meditation and healing arts to the schools and community.
Great.
And that's my main, I would say. I also do after school enrichment programs, but my love really is working with kids and parents and teachers. And so my question, I think, right now, I feel like I'm in a transition from all the after school programs I'm doing to like really focusing on my nonprofit and putting all my energy into it. And I heard you speak how it was just a mindset, like you just did it. And I sometimes have trouble, like my mind is like, oh, you can't do that, right? Like it's so much. So
because you're stuck in the fear. You're stuck in the fear.
So
you got to get out of the fear.
Pointers.
You need to write down everything that you want to do, and you just got to take one step at a time. Don't stay in the fear. The fear is just an emotion and won't get you anywhere. Like, they were young. I wanted them to stay in their lifestyle. I didn't want to have to move to a one-bedroom apartment. I knew this is what I had to do, and that's it. And that's how you have to stay.
Yeah,
and you can use your meditation tools as well. Like some of the things that I do, because I get into fear a lot, is I'll do like a meditation hypnosis to get out of fear and into faith, or whatever you want to call it, spirituality. And in order to do that, you can, change your mindset to really, better yourself and focus on the next step and the right next thing and the next right action. And I think that can help a little bit as well.
Thank you.
Great.
But you got this.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, you're doing amazing work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that is very impressive. We have such impressive Zoomer moms. We always do. I'm always impressed.
That's cool. Great.
Kim, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and you have a question.
So my name's Kimberly. I have 2 little girls, and I resonated with your story a lot. I was an entrepreneur for the last 13 years. I've had my own business, but with having kids, it's just so much harder, especially the age that mine are. They're 2.5 and 8 months.
Wow.
So I guess I have 2 questions for you guys. How did you keep the balance between work life and motherhood? And then for Nicole, what made you decide that you wanted to enter your mom's business?
Good question.
Good question, yeah.
You go first.
So, to be honest, I never thought I would work for my mom or enter any type of design. I actually went to school. I went to LMU, got a bachelor's in journalism. I wanted to go into the news. And during the pandemic, it was like a hard time for everyone. And she needed help in the warehouse, and I had really nothing to do. I was just getting sober. I started working in the warehouse, counting the inventory. And then I was like, I wanted to do more. And I loved the environment, the work environment there. It's a lot of like female empowerment, and I was getting empowered myself. So, I just kind of fell into it, and I started really loving it. Growing up, we moved a lot. We moved every single year, and she always had a different style in our house. So I think I kind of picked up the design style just like growing up. And, I started staging, fell in love with it, and it was like no question ever since. I just knew it was the right thing to do.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I totally feel for you. I know exactly what you're going through.
I'm in the trenches.
Yes, because my kids are 17 months apart, so it was very tough. But you know what? All I did was I worked until 3 o'clock and then I would pick them up from school, take them to ballet, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, made dinner and started again. It was again a mindset for me. I didn't have a choice. I decided, you know what, I wanted to be involved and I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And I even worked out, and I had a great body back then. I don't know how I did that. But it's just, you know, I think one of the things that is really important is to give yourself grace. Mm-hmm. Give yourself grace. Like, tell yourself, you're amazing. You got this. Like, that's what I did every day. And I will tell you, I have an amazing life coach that got me to stay on track. So I really believe, and I'm telling all of you guys this, you know, at 56 years old, I've had a life coach or two for many years because it helps me when I'm going up here. It helps me to stay on track. It helps me to stay on track with my family, with my stylist, with whatever it is in my life. Because you need someone else to talk to besides your husband or your best friend or someone that is, and that really... I always say this, if that really has made the difference in my life.
Did I also read that you do kickboxing? Is that correct?
Yes.
Wow. Now that takes a lot of...
That's a funny
That's
thing.
where I get my aggression out.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
good.
yes,
That's
I got
good.
this, I got this.
That's really good advice for
Yeah.
someone who's just starting their career and trying to balance a bunch of things that adulthood is about
Right.
to throw at us.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, Nicole, you're not a mom yet.
No, thank
Or-
God.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm feeling that
Not
way too. And neither is Emily, one of our Zoomer moms. So, Emily, do you have another question or a first question?
Yes, hello. I'm Emily. I'm 23 and I just graduated UCLA. Definitely not a mom yet, but-
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. I guess I'm wondering what your favorite part of working together and just your job in general is. What's your favorite thing about it?
That's a good question. I would say my favorite part of working with my mom is just that we have built such an amazing thing together, and just to see like that we've been able to like really grow the company, at least since I've started here, right?
And respect. We respect each other like
Yeah.
crazy. I respect what she brings to the company. She respects what I bring
It's
to the company.
interesting. I think our relationship has gotten better since
Yeah.
we started working together, because it is so challenging that we've had to actually, like, when we disagree with something, which we're not always gonna, agree with everything, we have to learn to communicate in a way where we can hear each other. And I think as family members, sometimes you don't hear each other when you talk. So that's been like the biggest thing that's actually changed our relationship, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And then just the job itself is super fun. I mean, staging homes, I get to meet a lot of celebrities, a lot of cool people that I look up to personally, and just style their home. It's just such a fun experience. So, yeah.
That's great.
Awesome.
So do you advise all families just to work together like that?
No.
No.
Obviously not.
No, most family businesses don't work.
That's
We
true, which
know
is
that.
why you're
that's
so
why,
impressive.
That's
I
why
know.
I've worked really hard, because I have a lot of family business in my distant families, and I was like, no, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah.
And also, I want her to be successful. I want her to be way more successful for me. I want my son to be more successful than if whatever I can teach them, I will. But that's what we're moms. We're here to guide. We're here to be there. We're here to sometimes get beat up on. I'm just kidding. But it's I can say I'm super blessed. I mean, we went through a lot, but I'm so blessed. I have amazing kids. They work very hard. They have old school morals. So they don't work like, till 4. They work like I do. They work a lot.
Yeah.
But they love it. And that's the difference. When you love something, you want to work at it.
And I do want to add...
Yeah, and it's not a race. I want to tell you, it's not a race to be an adult. Like, take your time. Find what you love. Like, I never thought she was going to work with me. Maybe you will be working with your mom. Maybe you won't. But, like, take time and really honor what you want. And that's really important.
And kids who come from, like, a divorced family, which I know is a lot, it was really inspiring, I think, for me and my brother. The reason we have such a hard work ethic is because we saw my mom and my dad, honestly, working so hard to support us. Like, it just gave us that mentality that, like, we can do whatever we want. And then my mom's mindset, she definitely embedded into us from an early age as well. So that was
Well, it sounds like you're very lucky that you got a
very lucky.
awesome mom,
Yeah.
an amazing mom. And good for you. You set a good example, because even when you got off the wrong track a little bit, you set the example to get everybody on the right track, which is what moms
Yeah.
do. Because we're not perfect. Let's
No.
face it. None of us.
Nobody wrote a book
I'm
on
this
that.
close to perfect, but I'm not there yet either. So I get it. Yeah.
And it's a hard job. I mean, being a mom is
Oh,
not easy, you know? So
Yeah.
congratulations to all the moms
Yeah,
out there.
absolutely. That's why we're
And
together.
it's great. This is amazing that you're doing this so that moms have somewhere to go. When I was pregnant, I had nowhere to go. You know, there was no rule book or book that even told me what to do.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Well,
on your
thank
podcast.
you. Well, where can our listeners find you all? On your podcast and your business?
I never know. I hate the
Social
podcast.
media.
If you're looking for staging, you can go to EHS Elite Home Staging, california.com. If you want to find us on Instagram, our Instagram handle is elitehomestaging.com. Is it elite? Not .com, sorry, just Elite Home Staging. And Nicole Senia is my Instagram handle. Sam Senia is hers.
And the Power of We Official is our podcast, and check it out. We would love that. And this has been so fun.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, check that out, ladies. And thank you, Zoomer moms. You were all tremendous.
Yay.
Wonderful.
And
thank you for your questions.
Thank you, Georgia. You know, you got a special honor your mother has never gotten before, which is to introduce one of the Zoomer moms. So don't tell her that she, because then she'll start making demands on me, and I'm not sure that I'm really quite ready for that. Well, we want to thank our sponsors, the Beeman Hotel, which has been amazing. They have hosted events for us in Dallas. We've had Moms Club events, which we're going to do all over the country, Tennessee, Nashville, Colorado. We've got big plans for them. And they're events that we have where moms come together and get to know each other. And then the local vendors and people make donations, and there's some great prizes there. I actually did try to win some at the last event, but I got caught, so I'm not allowed to do that. But they're great prizes, which is why you absolutely want to come to those. And we also want to thank our sponsor, Newcom, which I'll tell you, Newcom has saved my relationship with your mother, because it's an app that you use to sleep better and reduce your stress and focus. I mean, it's a great app. And if you're interested and you want to if you put Moms Club in the code at checkout, you get 15% off every month of your subscription. It is well worth it. Check out Newcom. Well, Georgia, this has gone by way too fast.
I agree.
I think it's always so much fun. But we will be back next time with celebrities and extraordinary moms just like you. We know your me time is precious and valuable. Thank you, moms, for spending it with us. Georgia, our motto here on the Moms Club, and someday you'll appreciate it more when you're a mom yourself. If you don't laugh sometimes, you're going to cry. So keep laughing. We'll see you next time inside the Moms Club.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.